Well, here we are. We have a beautiful weekend coming up. This is Friday morning. It's a little above freezing at the moment. We are late February, February 29th, I think. So, just to give you some perspective of where we're at the moment, this wall here is final, as well as this wall and the two walls perpendicular to it. Today, the goal is to demo the exterior of this gable and take this entire section of roof down. And then tomorrow, hopefully, we can start building the wall that goes across here. Of course, that means I got to clean all this crap off of this area. I'm going to frame it on the deck and then tilt it up, holding it up with a rim joist. A chain hoist. A rim joist chain hoist. Good job. So the LVLs are right here. These are 24 feet long, two of them, and they each weigh probably 300 pounds, I'm guessing. So this will be a very heavy wall, and so the chain hoist will handle it mightily. Anyway, let's get cracking. How's this for a nice gable vent? You see, there's an opening there, and they put venting looking stuff on the top, but there's no hole for the air to get through. Morons! All right, this is Saturday morning. Last night, yesterday I got all the exterior wall demolished and then started rebuilding the temporary roof. Now, when I say temporary roof, I'm meaning it is temporary, but it's kind of like maybe medium term. It's so I still have to plank across here, put some 2x4s to join those, and then plank across a couple diagonals like I did here to support weak joints that where 2x4s are joining. But the lifetime of this roof is going to be until I do all the framing on the first floor exterior. So, for example, from this post, that post there, to the left about 12 feet, yeah, is part of the main living space. All of these joists here, and then that wall going that way, another 10 feet or so, 10 or 12 feet going that direction. So the swath of the middle of the house from that wall to that wall constitutes step 2. This is step 1, basically beam to the river. Step 2 is beam to where the chimney was and a little past, because I've got lots of structure underneath the foundation of the chimney that needs to be addressed. Another footer needs to be poured for that. I should say pier instead of footer, for the beam, the ridge beam support. So as I go around the house, or from river to street side of the house, taking out exterior walls and reframing, this roof will continue to extend toward the street, serving as a protection for the subfloor that will be and the joists that will be laid on top of these walls here. And then once all of the first floor has been framed, then starting from this corner over here and going toward the street and working my way down river, laying and securing the actual subfloor down, and then starting to frame the second floor walls. That way we can maintain all the tongue and groove subfloor panels together and make sure everything is level, etc. So, yeah. So eventually the whole roof is going to be gone, but this will be in place protecting the first floor. And then as we work our way across, we'll start removing this as we frame the second floor. Anyway, that's the strategy today. It's time to build the wall here, and means I got to clean up all this crap and prepare some structure to hold the wall as I'm framing it. Just turning these joists on edge with a 2x4 under them so that it's elevated above the level of this floor. And then I'll hoist that up with a chain hoist as well. right, folks, so I've got this wall framed, everything except the blocking, which I can add later. I just have to add some blocking here midway, like 3 blocks here and 2 blocks down there. Yeah, so I'm going to try and hoist this thing up. Let's see, some features here. I've got 3-inch Simpson size straps. I've let them into the 2x6s. The center of the strap is supposed to be at the bottom of the beam, and then of course they're going to wrap around now. I haven't, this section right here is really close to being square. That one's a little bit out of square, but I'm not worried about it because when I get this in place, if those are vertical and these are vertical, then I don't care if it's not square. I've measured pretty carefully, so I still have to add 2x8s in the inside the doorway where the sliding glass door is going to go. So the 2x8 is going to effectively make the sliding glass door an outie versus an innie, and this is relevant when you're dealing with exterior insulation. So this framing, the 2x8 framing that'll go in here and along here, it'll be flush with the inside of these 2x6s, and therefore it's protruding out the wall by a couple inches, and that is going to allow the door to extend out a couple inches to account for the 2-inch rigid foam insulation that's on the exterior of the house. So the exterior door, the door will be will look like a normal door on a normal house without exterior insulation. However, the windows are innies. Therefore, I'm going to be framing around the windows on the exterior, the 2 inches of foam insulation. There's going to be extra framing there to account for the windows, so, or the exterior insulation. So these straps are set in. I also added these little L brackets here to fill in, because these 3 and then the additional 2x8, those are all load bearing, driving down into the foundation wall where I've put extra blocking underneath the floor here and over there. So that's the transfer of not just the cantilevered beams that stick out here and here, but also there's a door above this that is also bearing on here with a header and post that comes down to bear on this. So all this load from the center of the ridge beam and all the way down to the foundation goes through these 2x. Anyway, so I'm going to hook this up and try to get it up. So I just wanted to present the methodology for lifting the wall up. So I've got a 4x4. It's on the floor, but it's just leaning against the back side of this beam. And then I got the chain hoist around the post. And then I had this A-frame here, which was facing the other way about maybe 30 degrees, leaning toward the river, and then it basically tilted over, and that helped provide more of a vertical lift on the beam early on. And then of course multiple coils of rope going around the beam there, plenty strong to hold it. I didn't notice any deflection whatsoever, as I would have expected not to see any deflection on this I-beam going toward the river. Based on that load, it probably wasn't more than 500 pounds, my guess. Anyway, so that's how I got the beam up. Seemed to work pretty well. All right, wrapping up this week. I got the first row of sheathing around here. Next week is really crappy weather. And then the week after, I should be able to spend almost the entire week down here. During that week, I would hope that I could get these two beams up, a bunch of joists. Well, I mean, if I finish up joists and able to just lay plywood up there, not secure it down, but lay it up there so I've got a surface to bear this roof on, then I can get rid of all these internal structure here holding up the roof. I was able to, as you see through that hole right there, I was able to reuse the siding, the vinyl siding, laying it lengthwise going down the slope. I think that's going to be a pretty effective waterproofing method. And then, of course, there's another layer of plastic or two on top of that, and the canvas tarp. So I think we're pretty good here. Now I just have to, before I can go, I need to add house wrap, temporarily around everything on the outside to keep the rain out. Tie down the tarps, and then try to clean up some stuff here. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you later.